Hey, thanks for stopping by and welcome to my March stock photography earnings video. In this video, I'm going to go over my income from stock photography and video sales, as well as share my thoughts about my journey. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Joel. I'm a photographer and filmmaker, and I actually became a stock photography and video contributor in 2020 to see if I could build it into a somewhat passive income stream. If you dig that type of content, then you're in the right place. Go ahead and give me a like and subscribe if you want to as well. I appreciate it. Let's go ahead and get into this. So March was actually a pretty busy month for me on a personal level, and as such, my progress editing and working on my back catalog was slowly but surely progressing. In March, I actually added the majority of my images to iStock, Getty, Wirestock, and 2020. But I still failed to get any new videos uploaded, which is kind of a big bummer for me. So I'd like to start with a few of the images that sold for the first time, and here they are. This one sold on Adobe. This next shot was also sold on Adobe, basically a really cool sunset over the Gulf of Mexico. This one actually sold on Shutterstock, and it was a lighthouse in Fajardo, Puerto Rico. And another one from Shutterstock, this is actually a historic marker of Paso Roble, Florida. It's also fun to find your licensed images out in the wild. Here are a few that I came across from March. You might recognize this image has actually been used quite a few times, and it's actually from the same website too, Family Vacationist. It's San Juan, Puerto Rico. Here's another one I came across that the same website licensed as well, but this one was actually used in February, but I just came across it now. It's actually shot in Santa Fe, New Mexico. So I always have a hard time finding my images through Google searches and things like that. So I don't know, if you guys have any suggestions on finding your stuff out in the wild, definitely let me know in the comments below. So starting with my best performing stock agencies first. Actually, this month, first place came to the agency that shall not be named. There I have a portfolio of 643 images. I had 23 total downloads with an earnings of $5.70. Now my revenue per download, or RPD, actually came out to be 26 cents in March. A few notes is I actually didn't have any new images accepted with the agency, mostly because I kept getting all these technical reasons, like either focus, noise, stuff like that. So my portfolio there didn't actually grow any at all. So I've also been splitting up my uploads to this agency by submitting some of them directly and then the other half like through Wirestock. As you know, I've been trying to take advantage of Wirestock's higher contributor level, and hopefully that would give me a little higher earnings from each download. It's another reason that my personal portfolio didn't grow at all on with this agency. But I did have my first video sale with this agency, which is pretty exciting, but it was only for $1.49. So that kind of sucks. But it was this video here. This clip is from a famous street in Old San Juan, Puerto Rico. It was sold as an editorial image, just regular HD quality. So now I only had one on-demand sale, and it was this one here of this New York strip steak. And I have to say it was quite tasty. The rest of mine were all subscription sales, like this image of the vineyards at Lake Chelan, Washington. You might remember another image from this shoot selling last month on Adobe Stock. Now, you just saw this one. It was a first-time sale of that lighthouse in Fajardo. And of course, this first-time sale of that Paso Roble that we just saw. Again, making sales with signs. That's always cool. And of course, if you watch this channel, you'll definitely recognize this next image. It's the St. Pete Pier, and it's been a really big seller for me. It sold 5 times just in March alone. Next up, and for the second month in a row, Wirestock came in second. My portfolio with Wirestock in the month of March was 387 images and 35 videos. I had a total of 5 downloads, and I earned $5.05. A lot of fives. My revenue per download ended up being $1.01. So if you've been following my videos, then you'll know that I've been doing kind of an experiment with Wirestock. You may have also seen some of the videos I've done about it as well. There's a playlist up here somewhere. So last month I had a bunch of images that I had uploaded but just had not been approved yet. And this month I actually managed to get those plus a couple other ones uploaded, or actually approved rather. It was like 34 new ones approved, and I had one video approved as well. Now Wirestock has been taking me about 2 to 3 weeks on average for my approvals lately, which is a little bit slower than I would have liked. Here are actually a few of the images that did sell on Wirestock. This one here of the Blarney Castle in Ireland, actually I shot it on my phone, but it was sold as a commercial image. This next series is actually of an old abandoned movie set. It was actually sold through Adobe Stock and again through DepositPhotos. It earned 36 cents through DepositPhotos via Wirestock, which is actually 20% more than the highest commission I've ever received from DepositPhotos just by submitting on my personal account. So that might be a result of the higher contributor level that Wirestock gets through DepositPhotos. I would like to see some more sales though to actually confirm that. So the rest of the images were actually sold through Adobe Stock. All of these were actually sold as editorial. So I also had $2.78 in referral income through Wirestock, which was actually half of my earnings on Wirestock for the month, which is kind of cool, I guess. So thanks again to all of my referrers, and I did look that word up, referrers, that's their correct word. Now, if you are interested in trying Wirestock out or signing up with them, I would actually say start by watching a few of the videos that I've done about them, and then if you're still interested in using Wirestock, then I just ask you to sign up through one of my links, and I've got a link down there in the description. And coming out of the shadows into third place is Dreamstime. Dreamstime actually have a portfolio of 737 images and 109 videos. I had 13 total downloads and an earnings of $4.55. My royalty per download there was 35 cents. Dreamstime was actually pretty decent for me in March with those 13 downloads. And I should mention that all of those downloads were subscription sales as well. Starting with this one here of the Don Cesar in St. Pete Beach. This was an editorial image. It's another editorial shot of a restaurant on St. Pete Beach and a whole bunch of Puerto Rico pics. But the first one here is of Laquillo Beach, sold as editorial. And here's another view of that Fajardo lighthouse, and this one was sold as commercial. All right, and now for my dishonorable mentions, as I like to call them. I think Jeff White calls them his minnows. Anyways, I actually had a few sales with 2020, Adobe Stock, Eyeem, DepositPhotos, and iStock Getty. My total sales for all 5 were $5.43. Here are just a few of the images that were sold. This first one sold on Eyeem for $1.75, and it's actually a picture of Shipwreck Beach on the island of Kauai, Hawaii. This next one was actually up in Mammoth, California, and it's the airport there. It sold on DepositPhotos for 30 cents. And then I actually had one here of Playa Escondida in Puerto Rico, and this one sold with iStock Getty for a whopping 4 cents. And I'll finally leave you with this one here of a kid's birthday cake that sold on 2020. Speaking of 2020, I actually had 41 images that I uploaded there last month, but I had 9 come back as not cleared again. So these were all editorial images, and some of them were of artwork. So I'm not really sure if it was the location itself or perhaps the artwork that basically got them flagged. They were all definitely shot in a museum. And I also just made a new video about 2020 for stock photographers. You can watch it on my channel. I'll put a link up here. Of course, the month that I make a video about 2020, it would actually make it on my dishonorable list. But on the plus side, I actually entered some of the weekly contests that 2020 runs, and I did pretty good with these images here. First one is this couple on a beach. One of my favorite pictures of the Sierra Nevada mountains. These images actually came in the top 20%. And this image here came in the top 3%, which is pretty cool. Again, I had no other sales on any of the other 6 agencies or platforms that I submit to, including Fine Art America, which is another disappointment. So overall, March ended up just being, okay for me. Year over year, I actually was up. It was $5.74. That's an increase from last year for me, which is always a good thing. So how were your sales for March? Let me know in the comments below. And also let me know if there's any other topics that you want me to do a video about. So that brings us to my total earnings for March of 2022. But before I reveal those earnings, do me a favor, give the video a like. Definitely help others find this content. And also, if any of my videos have helped you at all, hey, you can show your appreciation by using any of my links in the description below, or you can also buy me a beer. There's a link for that too. All right, so now March 2022 totals. So my average portfolio size across all of the different agencies and platforms was 550 images and 59 videos as of March, and my total sales were $20.73. And that was actually from 63 different downloads and an RPD of 33 cents. You can check out my other channel, The Wandering Hearts, in order to see some more of my travel videos. As of right now, we're actually just starting our Puerto Rico stuff, so definitely check out that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope these videos give you some kind of inspiration for your own stock photography journey. And as always, if you find any of the free content helpful, then please use my links in the description below. You know the rest. Like, subscribe, and follow along. Cheers!